Hello and welcome to Spokane Talks. I'm your host, Isabella Harris Hamlin. We are here today with Charlie Brewer. She is the Beyond Pink Executive Director and co-founder. Charlie, how are you today?
I am awesome. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So talk to me a little bit about what Beyond Pink does.
I love talking about that. It's my favorite subject. Beyond Pink funds thermal imaging, and thermal imaging is a way for us to see breast disease at the very earliest stages, which could be many years before a mass is large enough to be seen on any other screening tool, at which point you're already sick.
Right.
So this technology allows you to actually be proactive, change some things that are going on in your body, and possibly prevent breast cancer.
Absolutely. Catch it early.
Yeah.
And so how did you decide to start Beyond Pink?
It's kind of a funny story and has some components, but I'll keep it short. So my sister was on her second round of breast cancer at a very, very young age. And, you know, if you've been through this with somebody you love or yourself, that you're monitored constantly. You're in every 6 months and then every 12 months. And then suddenly, almost 5 years later, you're sick.
Right.
It did make sense to me. We see so many things that come our way, arthritis ahead of time, heart disease ahead of time. Why can we not see this? And I Googled some things and looked in foreign countries, like who would know more about medicine outside of the box. Mm-hmm. And I came upon a blog about thermal imaging, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is absolutely it. I mean, I want to know more about this. And of course, things got busy. And I was at a networking event, and the gal who wrote that article was Carla Porter, the co-founder of Beyond Pink, which I'd never met her. She was right here in Spokane. Uh-huh. And at a networking event, I saw her coming at me, and I saw her name tag, and I was like, oh my gosh, Carla Porter, I love you. And I swear she covered her name tag because I'm very outgoing and she's a little quieter. But anyways, I said, we need to talk about this. And we got together, and I said, hey, if you ever want to do a fundraiser, just let me know. And 11 weeks later, we put on the first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah. That's the short version.
So it is Women's History Month, and yesterday was an awesome day for women. Day. Why is this kind of information important for women of a variety of ages to know?
It's so important, one, because most people don't know about this technology. I think more so in this area because we've made a bit of an impact with our educational workshops. But this technology starts at age 20. Breast cancer affects all women, every race, and men too. 1 in 1,000 men get breast cancer. But specifically, our women 20 to 40 have no way to monitor their breast health other than this technology. And this is a non-invasive, no compression, no radiation, first look at what's going on. Mm-hmm. And you need to incorporate it into your health care, your self-care. And women don't do that. They put themselves at the bottom of the list, and they don't spend any money on themselves, which is why we started this foundation to pay for it. And it's important for everybody to do it. You know, mm-hmm. a cousin, a sister, a friend, a mom, somebody that's important to you. Well, do it for them.
Yeah. It affects so many people, but I think...
1 in 8.
Definitely young people. It's not something that crosses their mind for a while. Mm-mm. When it should.
And generally, I mean, in most cases, young people get more aggressive cancers because you're not looking. They tend to be more aggressive.
Interesting.
Same as men.
Huh. Oh, yeah. Well, it's so important to think about it.
Put it on your calendar and put it in your self-care. But what I like is that since it's the women and everything we do together, watch out for each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Go together. Well, you can't do it at the same time, but you can
support.
You can put one behind the other in the appointment and then go have lunch. I mean, whatever you need to do.
Definitely.
Urge each other to take care of themselves. You want your friends and your family around for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. So COVID has changed a few things. So how is Beyond Pink looking a little bit different this year?
Well, COVID, Beyond Pink 2020 was a big challenge, as I think it was for most nonprofits. Right. We couldn't do our live event, which is our #1 fundraiser, and it's a very unique, award-winning event. And to pivot, which we did successfully, to a virtual event was a hard pivot. It also left us with a really robust financial agenda for this year. We've got to make up some finances that we spent during COVID. I am just so happy to say that we continue to answer grants all the way through. We turned down no one.
Wow.
Not one of our grants went unanswered or unfunded. And that is just the generosity of this community that supported us up to COVID.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say that we made it through that. It's just time to boost it up and get all going. The other thing that happened with COVID is that people's health came to the forefront of their minds. Everything we're doing now, we're worried. We're worried if we're sick. We're worried if we're losing somebody. Now your breast health comes to the front of your mind. Demand is big.
Definitely.
There's a pent-up demand, and it's a busting out. So, and then we also had to change our educational workshops that we did in person out in the community. I felt like that was a really great way, and we got great response after one of those. A huge amount of grant requests would come in. That's what we want. Mm-hmm. We want women to come to us. We want them to know we're here. We want to reach them where they are. And that was a great way for us to reach them. And that, of course, didn't happen during COVID.
Right.
But we are marching boldly into 21.
Oh, yeah. And so great to have a wonderful community here in Spokane.
So 12 years of great support. And we are here because of this community. Our money stays local, and it is funded completely locally.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you touched a little bit on this, but I know you've already started planning the fashion show that's going to happen in a couple months. So can you talk to us about that and why people should go?
Yeah. Well, one, it's the most fun you'll have saving a life. That is our tagline, and it's true. We are grateful to have won many, many awards, best event in the city, but it's put together by awesome people, and it's completely different than any other event that I've ever been to. Mm-hmm. It's a complete kinetic energy, fashion stage show, like their productions, and that's our live auction part of it. Based on guidelines and restrictions, will tell us how many people can be with us live at that, and we're hopeful that we'll be at a generous number. Yeah. But we'll take care of our sponsors first and make sure that they get there, and then our available tickets will go on sale. We estimate July 1st.
Oh,
but
wow.
We generally start planning the day after the year before, or the event the year before, and we were behind because we didn't know where we were going to be with guidelines. So now we're catching up.
Yeah, a lot to do.
Very fun.
And if people want to get involved in that, what's the best way to do that?
Our website, beyondpink.net, there is an application for volunteer, and it'll have specific areas that maybe better fit you or something of more interest to you. Mm-hmm. The event itself is one. There's also a silent auction and all kinds of volunteer opportunities. Okay. Whatever it is, you can get involved. We like to see that come through. Yeah. And that's starting to pick up too.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm curious if you have any particularly interesting or inspiring story of somebody that Beyond Pink helped.
Several, a lot. We were talking earlier. I am the recipient of all the emails. I get all the thank yous. I get all the tears. Yeah. I get all the scared. So we have several on our Facebook and on our website. Our Stacy story is definitely a long battle that beautiful warrior is fighting. Yeah. She is one, and that's, I think you'll need to see her video for that one. And then I will just share one other one that's on there as well for us, Lindsay. It's hard work being in front of a nonprofit. Some days you're tired and you need re-inspired. And on one of those days, about halfway through, I'm going to say about 5 years ago, maybe 6, I got an email that said, in short, here's my journey. And if you ever wondered if what you do saves lives, don't. You saved mine. Wow. And of course, I tell my husband I cry every day. It's either a good one or it's a bad one, but I cry every day. And gosh, if you were going to be ready to quit after that, you just get right back up and go back to work. Right. So that was a pivotal one for me personally.
A lot of strong women out there.
Oh my gosh, warriors. I mean, we base everything on that braveness and courage and warriorism. Whether they're fighting that fight, they got ahead of it and it's not as big of a fight, or they're helping someone else fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And so those stories can also be found on your website, right?
Yeah, I mean, we share them on our social media. They're in testimonials. You'll see them kind of go through, of course, just first names and that little bit that they each share. There was one for yesterday for International Women's Day.
Oh,
so,
great.
A couple of really, we like to share those.
Yeah.
But we share them mostly on social media.
Okay.
It's our easiest little snippet without, and when we're in doing our in-person events or our luncheons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, stay tuned.
So just to kind of finish off, if people want to get involved in the organization altogether or show their support somehow, how can they do that?
I will always say first get your thermogram so you will understand what you're supporting, what the process is, and you can speak to it, the ease of it, and what a difference it made to you, because it will empower you and educate you and put you in charge of your health. So that's first. Second, you can volunteer at beyondpink.net. There is a volunteer form, and you can also fund a grant. We have a Save Our Daughters campaign because we are trying to save our daughters, that 20 to 40-year-old women. And then you can sponsor our event. You can help contribute. So you can donate silent auction items. Wherever it is, everybody's not in the same place. You can be one of our really important monthly ambassadors. $25 a month pays for a thermogram by the end of the year.
Wow.
And it's hard for people to come up with big amounts of money right now. We understand that, but those monthly ambassadors are so important to us.
Yeah.
And that's right under the donate button. You can choose that on our website as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a way for everybody to get involved.
And it doesn't have to be 25. We just use that as a reference. You choose.
Okay. Any amount.
You choose. Yeah.
That's great.
It all helps, and it all helped us get through this pandemic.
Yeah. Well, thank you. What an inspiring organization. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was really a treat to be with you today.
And so important for everybody to know.
I think so too. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Charlie. And thank you for tuning in to the Pulse of Spokane. We'll see you next time.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful. It needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Pulse. We are where you are. Check us out on any of these other platforms, as well as our website. This show is sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Homes for You, and Apex Cannabis.